Hello, everybody. My name is Merk. We're back day 15. You may be wondering why we're starting right here. I may have recorded an hour of this episode and had the wrong screen open, wrong OBS scene, because I was messing around with stuff last night and I forgot because it's the morning and I didn't have my coffee. So I didn't even look over at OBS. Here we are playing Blueprints. Is there sound? Is there sound in this game? I'm not hearing any sound. Oh my god, everything's going wrong. One sec. Apologies. I'm gonna have to. Do y'all hear this? Okay, well, this is a botched video as is. I think I'm still gonna try to upload this and explain what's going on here. We've been running low on steps this whole time, running low on keys, but we magically just found a bunch of keys. We're also like concerned about doors. This is a weird run. It might end at any moment. So I don't know what this video is going to look like. Also, this is a classroom. So we're in grade 4. So you didn't miss much. I kind of reinforced a lot of my knowledge and explained some of my thoughts regarding various countries. We were just talking about that in grade 4 where there's geography. And then grade 1, we kind of talked about that as well, where the colors. But then grade 2 and 3, mathematics and science, we didn't really, or like word problem science, we didn't really learn much. So you didn't really miss much. We did see the bookshop and the library where I read Swimbird, and Swimbird is a bit of a sad tale. Maybe I'll even edit this video to include the Swimbird reading. I'm sorry, this is a mess of a run for many reasons. I looked over and an hour in and it was on my dang AFK screen or whatever. But yeah, I think the long and the short of it is you haven't missed too much except for me stressing out about things. The mailroom had 3 letters in it from Randolph M, who is the lab technician, and he basically just said continue doing experiments. Talked about the boiler room, but said it's not necessary to beat the game. It was stuff like that. Did I save those letters? I must have, right? Yeah, I saved them under house staff. I only saved one of them. Whoops. Unfortunately, I can't go back easily because we only have 13 steps. So we're just going to continue along. And I apologize. I had a feeling I was going to mess up one of these episodes. It took me, 2 weeks to do it, but here we are. We also got a second library. We just found this library by accident. And then the bookshop spawned out of it. We have a lot of drafting possibilities. I'm looking for more classrooms. But yeah, the main thing you missed was me reading Swimbird, buying a book from Bookshop. Particularly, it was a drafting strategy book, which we'll find in future libraries. Other than that, I think I've caught you up on some things other than my deeper understanding of the various countries of the world, which I will kind of go through my notes and maybe at a future date explain further as it becomes more relevant. For right now, we're going to continue onwards. The door is locked, of course. We've been burning through our keys like crazy. Let's maybe do security here. So we actually could theoretically have access to the antechamber. And then it connects us to Foundation. We do have the key cards, so we actually want to turn up security now. We have 1 fruit, 5 coins, 2 trunks. 2 trunks are in the pool. And I feel like this offline mode might kick in if we were to turn off the power of the key cards. Is that how that works? If we drafted that water closet, whatever it's called. Not the water closet. I always forget the name of it. Utility closet. So nothing going on here. That's okay. What about in the Foundation? We might have a few dig spots. Probably don't want to go downstairs. It's just like a waste of steps at this point. What would be down there? I don't think anything would change down there. And also, we would need the key again, right? Is that how that works? So one thing I was mentioning to myself is it seemed like classrooms are mostly right-hand turns. Don't want to use the key if we don't have to. And here is that confirmation, theoretically. We do want this for sure. This is our last class, or our last gem, though. We will get crazy rerolls out of it, though. But then we won't be able to buy a courtyard. Trying to think of what else is in the study. Nothing really. The study's great, but you need to have gems to make it worth it. I think we have to take the classroom. I don't like this, but I'm praying there's a gem on the table somewhere, but I don't think there is. Grade 5. They're learning about various cultures, perhaps. We do have 2 keys. No gems, though, which is really concerning. It's a pretty big East Wing hall here. Actually, we could go buy gems in the commissary. And it's not that many steps. It is steps, I recognize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need gems. We're so... Like, because if we go into this classroom and then we see another classroom, we cannot draft it, I'm going to be upset. And I'd rather be low on steps than low on gems. Which may or may not be the correct play. But it's what we're doing. Man, this video is going to be friggin' weird. I'm sorry. To be fair, I'm going to say again, you didn't miss too much other than me kind of thinking about the countries. You may be interested in that information, but honestly, I still have a very basic understanding of all of them. We also got a few more stamps in the mailroom from Randolph, explaining those countries a bit further, like Arc Aries. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get another classroom run in future, and then I can explain it further, because I don't really want to explain it without going back and having the visuals to help. And I definitely want to be more in the classroom area than going back to the veranda. We've already confirmed that we're going this way by going to the pool anyway, so continue this way. Steps getting very dire. Let's go into the classroom. I feel like that's a bit more important. Art class. So I was kind of right that it's culture. So we got like a stag, a deer, a crowbar, like we're playing Half-Life. Is this like a tiramisu? Is that what they're called? Draw 2 letters that share all but 1 letter of their name. Oh, okay. Wait. Draw 2 things that share all but 1 letter. Oh, okay. I see. So you're... Oh, okay. Acorn and corn. I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be. What is this? Two and tooth. Thanks, Josh. I don't understand what this thing is supposed to be. This looks like it comes out of my nightmares. What else would you call this? This is a robot. A bot? No idea. I don't feel the need to copy anything down here. I was gonna say, is there an apple? Almost missed that. Big apple moment. Okay, so nothing crazy here. We take this because we have crazy drafts. We have 13 drafts. These are all rooms I do not want to see. Courtyard is proving to be a bad piece here too. If we get a left hand, we ain't getting a left hand. Oh, there's one. And the boudoir. The boudoir is actually kind of huge because it comes with dice. That said, we don't have keys. Conference room might be okay, but like we would be looking for office after that immediately. And office is a left-hand turn, but we don't have redraws. Whereas this gives us redraws, and that's kind of what we need. And steppers is nice. Right, I forgot we have nursery. And then a gem as well. One of the interesting things about the Swimbird book in the library was all the people who took out the book beforehand. I would love to go back to it, but I think... Did I screenshot it? I did. Maybe I could just like weirdly edit this to make it a little relevant to the information I gathered. Did I not actually save Swimbird? I didn't. I guess I didn't save Red Prince either, so that kind of makes sense. Oh, that's bad. You don't need me to say that, but that's bad. Key cards. I was so confused what this was at first. We take bedroom. Just because it's a room and steps and a door and an apple. I had a feeling. Kind of hate this game sometimes. I think this is the end of the run, right? Okay, well we got 16 steps. What can we do with this? Man, getting key screwed again. Well, not again, but like... I feel like I did all I could. In a lot of ways. Huh. Yeah, I think this is the end of the run. Because we can no longer get keys. I'm so mad at security. I turned up security. Why am I not seeing security doors? There should be 6, theoretically, and we found 1. We found 1 before we turned up security. And grade 5 class did not actually teach us anything. So that also hurts. I guess if we took the pump room, we could have drained the pool and got some stuff that way. That was one thread we could have pulled on. So I guess what that does mean is we can go back to Swimbird. So maybe I don't have to actually do any editing. Because, again, that's like the only piece of information that's like new. That in the bookshop. And the stuff in the mailroom. But the mailroom stuff was so like inconsequential. It was telling me stuff about like how to beat the game, almost. And I'm like, Randolph, buddy, please, I own the place. These running shoes came clutch for sure. Man, it's the second run in a row that I'm pretty disappointed in how things kind of turned out. Sorry, I keep consulting the thing. So yeah, we're going to go into the library, or well, the bookshop first. We don't have money for it, but this is an example of the bookshop. Some of the things we learned: History of Arindia, first edition. New Clue is the book that was released post-mortem of Marion Marigold here. I read this out, but basically, I'm not going to read this again. But she disappeared months before the book was going to be released. They released it anyway. People think that there's a conspiracy theory that there was a publicity stunt, cheap publicity stunt. Detective Bon Margol, who many theorize may have been the inspiration for A New Clue, was quoted only in saying that the book was unintentionally accurate. So Detective Bon Margol, who somehow inspired Marion to write this book, was later put onto the case of Marion's disappearance. We've seen his name in the library card for when he took out the History of Arindia book, volume 2, of course. And it also kind of gives me shades of like Alan Wake, because Alan Wake also wrote like a detective story involving someone who may or may not have been an inspiration. I think it's like, it technically wasn't, but it's like shades of it, you know? So anyway, that was interesting, I thought. So yes, again, we have the New Clue book. We could buy that for 50. History of Arindia, first edition, also for 50. These are crazy books. The Curse of Blackbridge. Blackbridge is the name of the network of all the terminals, the computer terminals in the house. Realm and Rune, sorry, was the book we found yesterday at the start. It was the Foreman's copy that was all torn apart. I would love to read this, but not right now. I bought Drafting Strategy Volume 4 for 8 coins. And then we could also buy Drafting Strategy Volume 5. These books have been pretty good so far. That said, as it said in the fine text below, you can only get these books through the library. So in future runs, we'll have to keep an eye out. And then we can quickly read through Swimbird, because I think this is the only like relevant piece of new information we kind of had this run. And I'll go through quickly. On July 2nd, Sinclair himself got the book in 85. Mrs. Peterson later also got the book. I believe she is the teacher. Like a week later, she got it. And then months later, she got it again. And then on Christmas Eve, Simon got it. And you can see Simon has some unique writing. I compared his weird N here to our Simon's weird N, which is unique. It's backwards, basically, in some regard. Anyway, Mrs. Peterson later took out the book again a month later, and Babbage took it out many months later in April, on April Fool's, I guess. March 2nd, a year later, Detective Bon Margol took this book out, I'm assuming during his investigation as to the disappearance of Marion Marigold. And then November 21st, 93, Simon P. Jones took the book out. I am actually going to copy this page because apparently I didn't last time. We have seen the Swimbird throughout the house. We've seen pictures of it. There's a Swimbird plushie in the campsite that Simon stays at outside. And I'll read this quick because it's pretty quick. It's not as nice of a book as The Red Prince. It doesn't end as nicely, I will warn you. I am a dare bird, a daring and brave bird, diving so deep bird, a ride on the wave bird. There is not a dare I would not do, there is not a depth I would not dive to. However, my friends are not very open to the idea that I like the sky less than the ocean. Bird in the sky, not in the sea, that is what they say when looking at me. You are not sea bird, you are not swim bird, if you are friend bird, fly in the wind bird. And shouldn't you always listen to friends, for they know me best, or so they pretend. So I dare not dive, and I dare not swim, and I dare not step foot in the ocean again. And I dare not smile, and I dare not laugh, for they will do it for me, and on my behalf. And I dare not dream, and I dare not speak, for maybe my friends won't like the real me. And I will say goodbye to my dreams and the sea, and wonder why daring feels just like defeat. So again, this is Unfortunately, not as a nice book as The Red Prince was. The moral of the story almost is that you shouldn't be daring, you shouldn't have these dreams, you shouldn't push yourself further out of into the extreme where people don't expect you to be, right? And it's like caving under peer pressure and the idea that you aren't necessarily good enough to follow these dreams, like you being put down by others even though they pretend they know you and pretend to be your friend. So it's a book of him, the Swimbird, questioning himself. And unfortunately, it ends with him questioning himself. I will say goodbye to my dreams in the sea and wonder why daring feels just like defeat. This is interesting for a number of reasons. The dreams in the sea. The sea kind of represents like the unknown, the uncertainty, the possibility space. Because the birds know the sky, they know the land, they can see the land, they can see the skies, but they don't see under the water. They don't know what's in the depths, what could possibly be beyond, right? So Swimbird's trying to push, and the others are saying that that is a silly idea. I thought I had one more thought here, but that might be it. So I'm definitely curious on the next book by Marion Marigold. It's kind of unfortunate that it ends the way it does, this book. Daring feels just like defeat. Oh yes, the final thing I was going to mention is there is a dare mode in this game. And I don't remember how I've seen that. I feel like I've seen it recently. So I wonder if this is reference to that as well. I don't know how that works. I don't have this mode. I feel like I've seen reference to it somehow. How many steps we got? We got 6. We're probably not making it back to the mailroom. I guess we could have tried. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could, if we get 1 step, we can. Because that's the only other like big relevant piece of information we found. We went to the library and took out the pump control book. So we'll go back, use these final steps, pray for a running shoe proc, which we did not get. Once again, no keys. Unfortunately, when we enter this room, we're not going to be able to actually read the letters. But we will get a new package tomorrow. There are 3 letters to the side by Randolph. I don't know if those letters are going to disappear. I'm a little concerned. I did read them aloud, but again, there's not crazy information in there. It was him talking about experiments, referencing room 46 and how you don't need the boiler room to do that, as well as referencing how the boiler room interacts with the lab a little bit. It gives you extra power and allows you to work with that contraption. I don't know what the second letter was. Oh yeah, the password is Swan Song. Oh, the shoes save us. We actually could get into this room. Thank you, Running Shoes. So yes, he talked about the terminal here, saying he can't really watch us, but he can see the radiation levels as we experiment, and saying we should do some more. Best of luck in the experiments. And you'll continue saying letters. It's Randolph again. Password is Swan Song. And Randolph again. Room 46. You don't have to use the boiler to reach it. The other things that we gleaned is the stamp from Ark Aries, which appears to be an industrialized nation with a lot of stormy weather, which we might have seen reference of in that Realm book, the Realm and Sigils book. Whoa, I didn't notice this. 9 up, 3 up. What is that supposed to mean? Actually, I'm just going to save this picture, because I should have in the first place. I only saved the first one. And what about the second one? The second one just tells us about Swan Song. And we were looking at the stamps again. I'm going to look at this stamp. Vera Shores. Okay, so they appear to travel on turtles. This is actually like crazy, because we don't know anything about Vera. That's one of the things I was talking about earlier when I was talking about the other countries. 9 up, 3 up. Is that in reference to like the safe code or something? And then the final thing that I'm going to mention, because of the stamps, We don't see the stamp on this letter. However, if you look at an angle, you can kind of see it on the edge of the screen right now. My FOV makes it a little weird. But it appears to be the symbol of Orindia, as I've been calling it. It's kind of like a diamond symbol, but it's like flat on the sides in the center. Like it's a diamond border outline, but then it's like a flat diamond on the center. I don't know. It's hard to explain unless I go back to the classroom. But I think that is it for this run. I guess this ended up being a little bit of a video anyway. This would have been an 1.5 hour run. But again, y'all didn't miss too much at the start other than me kind of stressing out about keys, doors, you know, the typical nonsense. We had a scary gem moment. We are going to be out of our Blessing of the Gardener, so we won't be seeing courtyards as crazy. We're going to have 3 hallways for tomorrow. We only got to grade 5, which is unfortunate because I was art class and we didn't learn anything there. I think all things considered, we did some things, but not amazing. This is kind of a bit of a boring run. So you can be glad that you missed that, I guess. Oh, what is this? Did they ever prove he was the one that stole the Baron's mail? Denny Ravane. We've seen the name Mr. Ravane. I'm gonna copy this whole screen like this. Mr. Ravane. Was he the bad? I think I wrote his name down at the top here. He was the fired groundskeeper. Okay, so we didn't know why he got fired, but apparently he might have stole the Baron's mail. Actually, this is a better screenshot right here. I can't believe I didn't notice this the first time. Okay. Well, no one better be stealing this Baron's mail. I feel like these letters are going to disappear, so I'm glad that I was able to at least come back here. Okay. Yes, so I think that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Just looking where my notes went. Where did I put that? So, sorry. Trying to fix it, sorry. I don't know where I put this screenshot. Oh, I guess it was in the letter from Randolph. I just kind of took the screenshot of the whole thing. Yeah, okay, I see. I thought I took a screenshot of just the 9 and the 3, but I wanted to give context. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, trying to fix it. I'm going to stop recording in a moment, have some lunch, and I'll probably play some more. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, oh wait, let me call it a day. I always forget to do that. But yeah, I feel like there's nothing else to glean here. I'm not going to do a diagnosis or anything. We've already done it a few times. Got the garden campus. We did get to rank 9. Again, we didn't throw away this run, but I felt like we could have made some better stuff happen. Oh well. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, click that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, folks.